All right, welcome back everyone to the 400k Investment Project. And let's get started today by listening to Elon for a moment.
It really is a fundamental transformation of civilization as we know it. This means a future of abundance, a future where there is no poverty, where you can have whatever you want.
Well, that's quite the statement, Elon. But what he says next is what's most interesting. Let's first just recap what has happened with his request. I don't know what to call it, but basically he said, "Hey, look, everybody, I don't have enough control of Tesla. I need to own at least 25% of the shares, or have voting control of at least 25% of the shares." A lot of people have taken this to be, hey, I want a new compensation package, right? I want another $1 billion plus compensation package. Of course, he's already by far the most well-paid CEO by, these types of compensation packages that are tied to share performance. Also, there's a little mini conspiracy that, hey, if he's going to be given this type of package, gee, wouldn't it be nice if the share price went down for him first when he gets issued this comp package? Because it's by law, it's based on where the shares are trading at the time, and so on and so forth. So hopefully that's not the case. And there's other people that are just saying, hey, look, frankly, you just can't keep giving this guy ridiculous comp packages. I don't care who he is or how great he is. You can't keep giving away shares like this. So I actually don't have I do have a bit of an opinion. My opinion is that no, I don't think we should be giving him a whole pile of money again. He says he's not motivated by money as well, and I think a lot of people believe that he's not motivated by money at this point. He certainly has uses for it. However, think about the Twitter purchase and certainly SpaceX and whatnot. But yeah, in terms of the 25% control, let's just listen to this next clip because I think it's kind of interesting given that that's the argument all of a sudden.
A fundamental transformation of civilization as we know it. Obviously, we want to make sure that transformation is a positive one and safe. But that's also why I think Tesla as an entity doing this, being a single class of stock publicly traded, owned by the public, is very important and should not be overlooked. I think this is essential because then if the public doesn't like what Tesla's doing, the public can buy shares in Tesla and vote differently.
Except that now he's basically saying, actually, I don't want the public, because the public is anyone, including activist shareholders, as he's concerned about. Well, which is it? Do you want to let people, be able to buy shares and then have influence? Or do you want to have so much, voting power that the public doesn't have influence? So I'm a bit confused, right? Here we are just a year ago, and it sounds an awful lot like, gee, I want to, democratize Tesla. And now it's flipping the other way very quickly. Let's hear him out here.
This is a big deal. It's very important that I can't just do what I want. Sometimes people think that, but it's not true. It's very important that the corporate entity that makes this happen is something that the public can properly influence. So I think the Tesla structure is ideal for that. Optimus, I think, has maybe a 2 order of magnitude potential improvement in economic output. It's not clear what the limit actually even is. But we need to do this in the right way. We need to do it carefully and safely, and ensure that the outcome is one that is beneficial to civilization and one that humanity wants. It's extremely important, obviously.
So it's very important that he can't just do what he wants, and Tesla's structure is great the way it is. But now we're talking about a preferred, super voting class of shares potentially. Let's just listen to what he said on the conference call most recently, explaining his rationale for this sort of comment, which is turning into more than just a comment. I think he put it on Twitter originally, sort of saying, "Hey, look, I need more control."
Should retail shareholders be concerned that Elon has stated that he's uncomfortable expanding AI and robotics at Tesla if he doesn't have 25% of voting?
Yeah, I guess let me explain what my concern is here, which is that I see a path to creating an artificial intelligence and robotics juggernaut of truly immense capability and power. And my concern would be, I don't want to control it, but if I have so little influence over the company at that stage that I could sort of be voted out by some sort of random shareholder advisory firm. We've had a lot of challenges with institutional shareholder services, ISS, I call them ISIS, and Glass Lewis, which there's a lot of activists that basically infiltrate those organizations and have, strange ideas about what should be done. So, so I want to have enough to be influential. If we could do a dual class stock, that would be ideal. I'm not looking for additional economics. I just want to be an effective steward of very powerful technology. The reason I just sort of roughly picked approximately 25% was that's not so much that I can control the company, even if I go bonkers. And if I'm like mad, then they can throw me out. But it's enough that I have a strong influence. That's what I'm aiming for, is a strong influence, but not control. There's some way to achieve that would be great.
Okay, here's my very brief opinion for what it's worth. I do think it's reasonable that he get a bit more voting control. He isn't compensated, right? So theoretically, someone else that could own a similar amount of shares to him, have no obligation to show up, have no obligation to do anything with regard to Tesla, and would benefit equally. So, it's a bit of a tricky situation because he doesn't draw a salary the way that a normal CEO would. And where is the incentive? Does he need an incentive? I mean, is he rich enough, or does he still need an incentive? So, and then how do you incent someone that already has billions, right? I mean, you're not going to pay him $2 million a year. It's meaningless, right? So, yeah, I don't know. It's a difficult situation. I do agree. He should maintain the power that he's requesting. And I think 25% makes sense, not 50, 25%. And that way, hopefully he feels confident enough to build and to innovate at Tesla rather than somewhere else. Shareholders are frankly, caught between a rock and a hard place. It's difficult. But yeah, that's my 2 cents. I'd definitely love to hear your comments, though. I don't have strong opinions, and someone probably has the right answer out there. So yeah, let's discuss. If you have ideas, I would love to hear them. And hopefully this gets resolved sooner rather than later. So I have one additional theory, come to think of it. He has teased the idea of selling a bit of XAI to Tesla. I don't think he'd just give it to Tesla. I think he would have to, sell it. But he said, I have to check with the board and whatnot. And so I do wonder if behind the scenes he's using that as a bit of leverage, right? And so it wouldn't surprise me if he does end up with a big comp package, and that's part of the closed door deal. He gets his super voting shares or his preferred shares, or however it's structured, and then a new comp package, and then Tesla in return gets a chunk of XAI. I mean, it's not like he can unilaterally sell XAI or part of XAI, but I believe he has already said that he's giving the investors in X part of XAI. So, and he said he's kind of open to something with Tesla. And I think a lot of people feel like, Tesla should probably deserve some of it regardless, because I don't think their ability to generate a large language model, an LLM, just came right out of thin air. I suspect there was at least some compute that was lent from Tesla, and so on and so forth. So anyway, I just wonder if that's a bit of a bargaining chip that may be behind the scenes. But anyway, again, yeah, let me know your thoughts.